Update. I'm eloping on Friday because my family wants us to delay the wedding until my brother gets released from prison. We don't want to wait, so we are just going to the courthouse by ourselves. Original post. Ever since I got engaged a month ago, my parents, my brother, and some of my other family have been pressuring us to wait to get married until my other brother is released from prison. My fiancé, female 29, and I, also 29, plan to have the wedding in November. My brother will be in prison for at least another 5 years. There is no guarantee he will be released then. That is just the earliest he could be released. My brother went to prison over my nephew's death. My brother and his wife were convicted of manslaughter because the law required everyone on the boat to wear a life jacket, and my nephew wasn't wearing one. His death destroyed my entire family. I don't want to wait another 5 years, and neither does my fiancé. We have been together for 3 years, and we are ready now. I know my brother going to prison was hard on everyone, including me. I have missed him being around for so many years. I thought if I talked to my brother, he would be understanding and tell everyone to stop pressuring us. But instead, he got mad at me for wanting to get married while he was in prison. After that, my fiancé and I decided we are just going to go to the courthouse on Friday by ourselves. No one in her family will care if we elope, and honestly, we are done with the pressure. We aren't going to tell anyone until afterward. Neither of us cares about having a big wedding, and I am so tired of everyone telling us to wait until my brother gets out. I don't care if anyone is angry with us. I honestly don't. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Your family is really entitled. The world isn't waiting for your brother to get out of the prison. Your entire family is insane for thinking you had to wait. Obviously, brother didn't ask for permission to do his crimes, so him getting upset that you're living your life is ridiculous. When I read the title, I thought it would be waiting like a month or two. When OP said 5 years, I thought that was just ridiculous. Wait 5 years? I suppose a compromise would be to get legally married at the courthouse and host a reception or coming home party when the brother is paroled. But I also kind of feel like it would be absurd to expect family members to delay major life events just because one person was arrested. Part of being in jail is being isolated from society, which continues to move on no matter how badly you want it to pause. Alternatively, see if an off-site video visit would be possible during any events, so the brother can feel like he's part of the family even though he's doing time. If you really want to be absurd with this, have someone do the actual ceremony inside the jail during a visit, so the brother can at least watch. Neither of those would be allowed under the prison rules and policies. There is absolutely no chance, and I wouldn't have my wedding inside a prison anyways. Now for the update. I just want to say how much I appreciated the supportive comments on my first post. My wife and I did go to the courthouse on Friday, just the two of us. We didn't tell a single person beforehand. We spent Friday and Saturday at home together. Today, before my wife and I both went to work, we called her parents and her sisters to tell them. And then we called my parents. After that, we emailed or messaged some other family and friends. Everyone in her family understood why we eloped. My family? Not so much, but I don't care after the way they acted. My brother and his wife have already been in prison for several years, and the earliest they could be released is 2030. My wife and I didn't want to wait 5 years to get married. Also, prison rules wouldn't allow my brother to watch a live stream or see a video later. We didn't want to have a vow renewal or a reception after my brother gets out. We don't see a need to have another ceremony or delay our celebration. We've made it clear to everyone we know that we don't want another ceremony or to have a reception or party, now or later. We don't think there's anything wrong with the focus being on the couple on their wedding day and not one of the guests. I absolutely hate what my brother did, and I was angry at him for a long time. My nephew was a toddler, and I think about him all the time and what he would be like now. I also miss my brother being around, and this tragedy and my brother going to jail have been difficult for everyone in my family, including me. That doesn't mean I can't be angry at my brother for how he acted about my wedding, but outside of that, I still do miss him. I don't regret eloping though. Friday was the best day, and I love my wife. We have no regrets about our courthouse wedding. I'm truly sorry about your family's situation, and I admire your decision to prioritize your happiness. It's understandable that you didn't want to wait, and it's great that you found a way to make it work for both of you. Exactly. Sometimes you just have to put yourself first. Really happy you made it all work out in the end. Wishing you the best married life. Thank you. I thought I would feel guilty about eloping and not telling my family about it, but I don't. My wife and I are happy and have no guilt about any of it. Congrats on your nuptials. Like I said on first post, your life doesn't revolve around the stupidity of your brother and family, especially when it's clear he may not even get out in 5 years anyway, due being unrepentant screw up. And rest of that side of the family is no better either, as his enablers. Do have brunch, lunch or dinner at a restaurant with your wife's family, or at least her parents to celebrate your marriage. Thank you. Like I said in my post, we have been clear with everyone that we don't want any kind of reception or gathering. My wife's family, unlike mine, is respecting our wishes on that and have only been supportive. Next story. My mom expects me to pay for my sister's wedding because I'm successful, and it's making me question everything. So I'm 28 female and work in tech, make decent money, but nothing crazy, like 85K. My sister is 25 female, works retail part-time, and is getting married next summer. My mom called me last week, acting all casual, asking if I could help out with wedding costs since I'm doing well. When I asked what she meant, she said they need about 15 grand, and that since I don't have kids or a mortgage, I should be able to swing it. Like what? I still have student loans, and I'm trying to save for my own place. I told her I could maybe do 2K max, and she got all weird, saying that's barely anything and won't cover the venue deposit. Then she hit me with, "Your sister has always struggled and this is her one special day." And I just sat there like, am I crazy? Or is this insane? I've worked my butt off for years, lived with roommates until I was 26, ate ramen for dinner half the time in my 20s. My sister dropped out of college twice, and has never had a full-time job longer than 8 months. Now my whole family is acting like I'm selfish. My dad texted me yesterday, saying I should think about what family means. Even my sister sent me this long message about how she never asks for anything and just wants one perfect day. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Am I supposed to fund everyone else's dreams because I figured my life out? I love my sister, but this feels so backwards, and I don't know how to handle this without ruining relationships. No, you do not fund her wedding. Buy her a nice gift. She is the way she is because your parents enabled her and allowed it. That's their problem, not yours. Family means that love and respect are not conditional or based on performance. They respect your boundaries and love you anyway. Performance doesn't equal love. Say no and let them throw a fit. They won't love you any better if you say yes, and they will always come to you anytime they need money. You may or may not have your own special day one day. You need to save your money for that. That could be a vacation or a house or a car or a wedding. Whatever that is, it's not their business. They asked, you answered. You are grown. Get comfortable with being unbothered when people try to cross your boundaries. It will save you a lot of money and therapy in the future. If saying no ruins your relationship, it was never worth saving. If this ruins OP's relationship, she can tell them, you should think about what family means. Learn to say no. Can't live a life without learning the most important word ever created. If they don't accept it and carry on with their nonsense, congrats. You just found out what your family's like. Now you get to ditch them with your conscience intact. If she doesn't say no now and set that boundary, they will be back. Her sister is pregnant and needs a nursery. Her sister needs a bigger car for the car seat to fit in. Sister is so tired from caring for children that she needs a vacation. Sister needs a house more than OP. There will be endless needs and OP will be expected to be the ATM. Next story. Am I the a-hole for asking my future in-laws for money? My fiancé's parents are loaded. Old money loaded. They can afford what I'm asking, no problem. I make very good money at my job. I'm currently 27 and earn over $170,000 a year. Tim is a teacher. He doesn't make as much, but he has a trust fund, so he works sort of as public service. It's big in his family. Recently, I had a weird conversation with him and his folks. They think after the wedding I should quit working and be a stay-at-home mom. I thought they were joking and kind of laughed. They were perfectly serious. They think it's emasculating that I earn more than Tim. Over the course of my career, I will earn much more than him. But his trust fund is low 7 figures. He could afford to pay me what I earn yearly, but he can't due to the stipulations of his trust. His mom, on the other hand, has lots of interest built up in her trust. So I offered a solution I thought was fair. They set up an unrecoverable trust for me. They must contribute my gross earnings yearly, with bumps for anticipated raises and promotions. The deposits would be for the next 35 years. That way, I'm a stay-at-home mom, Tim is the breadwinner, and I'm protected in the case of a divorce. They went freaking nuts. Apparently, I'm ridiculous for thinking they would give me money. So I offered a compromise. I signed a prenup wherein I am entitled to half of Tim's trust fund in the case of divorce if I give up my career. Also not acceptable to them. I'm kind of at a loss. Do they honestly think I would give up my career with zero safety net? My mom says I'm being kind of rude putting everything in such stark monetary terms, but I think I'm being reasonable. What do you think? Now for the top comments. Your proposals didn't fit their plan to totally control you and your husband and dole out money based on compliance with their instructions and ultimately being in charge of any children you have and so on. Get that prenup to protect you. Also, OP's proposals don't fit their belief that her getting married into the family is a privilege. They likely think for some delirious reason that the son is doing her a favor by asking her to marry. Not the a-hole. If it's emasculating that you earn more, that's a problem your fiancé needs to handle himself. You have earned your career and pension. They cannot expect you to just give that up to save face. I'd seriously consider whether or not you want to be a part of a family like that. And Tim either needs to back you on what you want or decide himself if he's okay with being emasculated. It never came up before. We have shared our bill 50-50 since we got together. He uses his trust to supplement his earnings. My extra money goes into my investment accounts. We don't live a lavish lifestyle. Using his trust already to supplement earnings is definitely enough of a red flag, for me, that giving up your career is a no-go unless they do agree to one of your stipulations. Is he part of the conversation with them, on your side, and wants you home as well? Or is it just his parents? He wants me to be a stay-at-home mom, but he was okay with either of my proposals. Last story. My 25 female best friend 25 female knew my husband was cheating on me and didn't tell me, saying she didn't want to hurt me. So, like the title said, I very unfortunately found out about a month and a half ago that my husband, 28 male, cheated on me. I know for a fact about 3 times, but I have to assume there were more. It was all with the same woman. I think she's 31 or 32, and they worked together. She was a guest at our wedding. He cheated on me while I was doing IVF. I had 3 miscarriages, 1 before and 2 right after we were married. And my point in including that is, I literally cried and cried to my best friend. She encouraged me to keep going and have faith. And aside from the fact that she saw how much I was struggling and crying to her because I knew how badly he wanted to be a dad, I'm really hurt she was going to let me get pregnant knowing I was being cheated on. Her husband also knew. He's pretty good friends with mine. She also comforted me right after I found out. At that point, I only knew about 1 occasion because I walked in on it. I found out recently that she knew about him cheating before our wedding. She found out the very first time he did it and still let me marry him. She was my maid of honor. If you're wondering, the way I found out was my soon-to-be ex came to our house. He had moved out, but came back to apologize and promised to tell me everything. He gave me his phone for proof. He told me who all knew, 2 of his friends and her. I saw texts between them. There was a very odd conversation that made my stomach turn, where he texted her saying he needed someone to talk to because he messed up again. And she was oddly sympathetic toward him. I will say, she was defending me to an extent in the rest of the conversations and arguing with him. But regardless, I wouldn't let her marry someone or have babies with them if I knew about cheating. I'll never forgive him, but I'm really trying to see this from her perspective. I'm hurt, but we've been friends for 14 years. She said she wanted me to be happy, and she thought he was changing. She also told me we should try couples therapy, despite the fact I have said I'm done. There was literally never one sign from her. She never voiced any concern about our relationship. And anytime I talked about him, she went on about how much he loved me, how lucky I was, etc. Also, we were raised religious, all of us, and she keeps guilting me that divorce is not okay, yet wants me to forgive cheating? I would look closer into why she is defending him so much. Did anything happen between the two of them as well? I can't imagine being friends with someone who failed your trust in such a serious way and is still acting against your interests by encouraging you to try couples therapy. She doesn't respect you, your feelings, or your wishes. She is just as guilty for being part of the conspiracy, covering up for him, and enabling his betrayal by staying silent. The fact that she continued to encourage you to pursue another IVF while knowing that the daddy-to-be is a cheating POS is really troubling and very cruel. I'm so sorry that they both failed you so badly. Not gonna lie, have been thinking about that constantly. I didn't ask. I didn't see anything like that in his phone when he came over, but 99% sure he deleted a lot and only let me see enough to look like he was being honest, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure, but not trusting anyone too much at the moment. Maybe she's been cheating on her husband and your ex threatened to tell him if she told you? I think it's more like she liked that her friend's life wasn't as great as her friend thought it was. Like, she's always been secretly jealous, and she loves knowing OP doesn't have it as good as she thinks she does, kind of thing. I'd tell her that she threw away 14 years to lie for your husband, and move on. She isn't your friend, she's his friend. That's how I feel too. She picked him over me. Or she picked her own husband over me, since he's pretty close with mine, and I'm sure he would have told her not to say anything. There's a million possibilities in my head, and none of them are good, so I think I have my answer. Her husband may be a cheater too. Get your divorce and get new friends.